Classics is the study of the language, literature, and the culture of the ancient Greeks and the Romans, from epic poetry to the prose writing of the historians to ancient novels, and all that their literature encompasses.
You know, you get to learn about the consequences of love lost and war and play. You get to think critically about sex, gender, power dynamics, really inhabit ancient minds.
It was really interesting to get a perspective because almost any subject you could think about, it exists in the ancient world. Archaeology, political history, political philosophy, reconstructing the stories of certain people who were significantly disadvantaged at the time. What wider selection could you hope for the classic?
I think there's a lot that people can learn about how we take from history, from these cultures. And I think a lot of people would benefit from that, to see how society behaved socially back then compared to today. I think it helps to create a rounded person.
It just opens you up to a million possibilities, especially being located close to DC. We have the National Gallery and opportunities to work at the archives, and there are just a million amazing things to get involved with because you are interested and educated in the classics.
Our department is great because it offers students the chance to work with a small group of expert faculty.
The biggest difference for me was that personal touch that I was able to get in classics. I met with the head of the department every semester, and we talked about what sort of classes are in line with my interests, what sort of classes might challenge me in a new way.
Because we're a smaller department, it's just it really is like a family. And I think I needed that. Sometimes you get swallowed up in a big major where you're not aware of what's going on, and it's hard to make connections. But in classics, you literally could know all the teachers, and I love that, honestly. It was the most enjoyable part of my college experience so far.
We also have opportunities for study abroad for our students. Within the department, we teach programs in Italy during the winter term, as well as in the summer, a spring break course in Paris, and in the past I've taught courses in Greece. In addition, we also offer certain scholarships to support students' tuition, as well as provide funding for participation in the various study abroad programs that are available to them. So our Department of Classics offers one degree, but we have three distinct tracks or ways of fulfilling the degree. So there's a track in Classical Humanities, as well as a track in Latin and a track in Latin and Greek. So the Classical Humanities track is a track that's designed for undergraduate majors who want to benefit from the strong liberal arts training that you get from studying the classics, but without having to engage in the special study of the languages of Latin and ancient Greek.
But I really liked the flexibility that the humanities track offered me because the wide spectrum of availability was almost intoxicating. It was really quite an experience to sit down with my advisor every semester and talk about all of the available options and what we could fit into it. So it's really up to the individual to decide what they want to get out of it. There is something there for everybody if they choose to look for it.
I think knowing the language of any human culture is probably the best way to get the deepest understanding of that culture. So those students who want to get the most intimate understanding of the ancient Greeks and Romans will want to study their languages, Latin and ancient Greek. So these two tracks, Latin and Latin Greek, are specifically recommended for students who want to prepare themselves for a future in classics. That is, those who are interested in becoming Latin teachers in the K-12 environment, and those students who want to go on to graduate school in classics or in a related field like classical archaeology.
Basically, if you do the Latin and Greek track, you specialize in one language and you have to take 12 credits of the other language. You learn these skills in your language courses that are applicable to any kind of literature or poetry you ever want to read. You can apply it to anything you really want to set your mind to.
I mean, at first glance, a student might think, oh, the Greeks and the Romans, that's so very specialized. But studying the Greeks and Romans actually opens up a window to a very large range of interests. Many of the problems that we face today, all of these concerns are concerns that have been thought about and written about in ancient Greek and Roman times. And by reading the works of the Greeks and the Romans, we have a new window for understanding how we might approach the problems that we face today.